they passed a law in the state of Florida that any homeschooler was allowed to play in any public school in his or her area or any private school that would accept them.
What's your take on the transfer portal? I've been living in this for a long time.
Let me tell you,
Okay.
the homeschool transfer portal
That you could have gone to. Fired up, ladies and gentlemen. They already know who the guest is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the intro.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow is gracing us with our presence.
Yeah.
He's outside. He's in the tunnel. He's waiting to run out.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm stoked, brother.
Bro.
I'm jacked up.
Bro.
I wish you could be like I wish Tim Tebow could be my alarm clock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, hey, dude, this is too late. People are passing you in life. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I got to get up.
It's really cool to see that, like, he's the guy that you see on all the stuff, that, like, all the video he does, all the commentary, all the press conferences.
We talked
about
that. We've talked about that in the past about guests.
Yeah.
You're like, all we're really hoping with a guest is to get them. And sometimes they're not, you're like, oh, I met them. I wouldn't prefer them.
Sure.
But you just want to get the authentic person.
Yeah.
And we got him.
Yeah. After the episode, I was thinking about it, and I was like, Tim Tebow has managed to somehow maintain the spark that you get when you first find Jesus.
I was going to say a girl, but Jesus.
Sure.
Jesus is better.
Sure, same.
Oh, yeah. I thought that. Okay.
When you first get saved, especially like if you got saved like in adulthood, like you have that fire.
And you're
of
like, dude, I'm getting rid of my
everybody
CDs.
needs to know about you know what I mean?
I'm going to go tell this waitress about the Lord.
Yes. And he has kept that for his whole life. And I admire that so much.
Sometimes we're inspired. Sometimes we laugh a ton. Sometimes we're inspired. Sometimes we're like, man, we're intellectually stimulated in some way. And I'm fired up.
Awesome combo.
Yeah. Did we get I'm not going to take credit for this, but I don't think we got a tear. Did we get some eyes watering?
I think we got some watering.
Some mid water. Yeah. Mid watering. Mm-hmm. A little mist. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not taking credit for it.
I think so.
Yeah. I think he's an emotional guy.
I think you asked some of the best questions I've heard you ask too.
Well,
I think strong performance from you. I don't want that to be overshadowed by the legend that is Tim Tebow.
Yeah. We should ask Lydia if she thinks I'm a better listener and because of this podcast.
How does she think you are as an interviewer?
Bad, dude. Bad. What?
Just for the no listening part?
I don't Bad. Speaking of, ladies and gentlemen, Tim Tebow's going on the road. You know who else is going on the road? Me, baby. Boise, Idaho this weekend. Spokane, 2 shows. No. There's 2 shows somewhere, maybe Tacoma. 2 shows. And then rounding out the month of November, Abilene, San Antonio, Tyler, Austin, December, Phoenix, 2 shows. Santa Rosa, Redding, California, South Bend, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo, New York. In the year 2026, Joliet, Effingham, Illinois, Nashville, Tennessee, Springfield, Missouri, Louisville, Ithaca, Redding, Glenside, Pennsylvania, New York City, Jackson, Michigan, Rockford, Illinois, Cedar Rapids, Columbia, Missouri, Fayetteville, Arkansas, Little Rock, Stockton, California, Anaheim, Thousand Oaks, Tucson, Houston, Fort Worth, Amarillo, Wilmington, Evans, Georgia, Durham, Jacksonville, Florida. That's where Tim Tebow lives, I believe. Hey. Asheville, North Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, Mobile, Florence, Alabama, and rounding out the tour and in Duluth, Georgia, a white suburb of Atlanta. That's the easiest way to say that. Thrilled to have the all-powerful Tim Tebow and the all-powerful AG1. Nice. Seamless integration of ads, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing AG1 Next Gen, now available in tropical, berry, and citrus flavors. We all have the original AG1. We've been gassed up on it for years. Now they got the tropical, vibrant, fruity flavor, the citrus, sweet, tangy flavor, berry, subtly sweet, tart flavor. AG1, the drinkable multivitamin with gut health support. 1 scoop contains your multivitamin, pre- and probiotics, superfoods, and antioxidants in one delicious habit. Supports energy, improves digestion, gut health, supports immune health. Ladies and gentlemen, I had it open on the countertop, and the cat was interested in it, but I don't think the cat would like AG1.
I don't think it's for the cat.
Yeah,
but
it's not in the copy.
Also, just don't let the cat have it because you want to hog that to yourself.
Because I want it.
That's good stuff.
What if a cat got jacked up on AG1?
That'd be sick.
Your daily health drink just got more flavorful. Give the new AG1 flavors a try today. The cat might not be interested in the original, but maybe the tangy.
Yeah.
Might be interesting to. Plus, if you had to drink ag1.com/netpositive, you get a free welcome kit worth $76 when you subscribe, including 5 AG1 travel packs. I need those when I go on the road. Plus, you get a canister, a shaker, and a scoop. That's drinkag1.com/netpositive to get started, ladies and gentlemen. I would say I was nervous at the end of the. I caught myself. This is going to be a strange thing to say out loud, but let me put it in context. I did catch myself looking at Tim Tebow's body.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy you said that. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because
Yeah.
I was just like, sometimes he was talking about, look at this guy's shoulders.
Most of the time I was staring at his forearms. Most of the episode.
Yeah, and this part too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the biceps, you were going over here.
Yeah.
The hands,
he
everything.
was sitting here a lot, and I was just, even just when he would move his fingers,
Yeah.
he has striations that I didn't know you could achieve, to be honest.
The
So,
gayest thing we've ever said.
Yeah.
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 This is a good, This is up. He might be.
I was listening, if that
Oh,
makes
yeah, I was listening. I was listening with my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he in our top 5 hot guy list?
Yes.
Well, interesting.
Yes. We might
Yeah.
need to shuffle that around a little bit, because I think he's
If you're
quickly climbing.
if you're a brand new listener, you're like, what's going
top
on in
2
this
and he's
pod?
not 2. That's all
No,
I'm
we've
saying.
had some hot guys. We've had this discussion before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some hot guys in here. Yeah,
Yeah.
he would be on that list.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
I don't
sure.
remember who our top 5 is. Warren Ziders,
Mm-hmm.
Matt Rife. Who else do we have in here?
Dave Ramsey.
Is that
Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, hot guy. Who else?
Financially
Corey
hot, for
Asbury.
sure.
Corey Asbury.
Corey.
Yeah, like very attractive man.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll put him up there in the top 3.
Yeah.
We
He
gotta update the
also,
list.
he got on Easton a decent amount throughout.
Well, Easton, tell him what Easton was doing.
Well,
Easton was decked out, full Bama,
yeah, Bama shirt.
top to
I
bottom.
don't even know if Tim clocked the shirt.
Yeah,
but
he
it
might
was
not have.
also a Bama shirt.
Yeah,
But
did you do that
I
on
mean,
purpose?
Yeah, I did lay that out the night before. I knew it was coming, so he thought I just coincidentally pulled up in all the
Yeah.
gear, but no, that was
I guess.
premeditated.
Yeah, if you're Tim Tebow, you know, if we're all wearing Florida, he's like, all right,
Sure.
there's no need for that.
I used to have a jersey. I couldn't find it. I don't think-
Tebow jersey?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Why did you
Florida.
say that?
I don't know.
Yeah, you got he got nervous. You can wear a football jersey not to the guy's house that it's his jersey.
If I had it, I would have worn it for
If we all
sure.
pulled up in Tebow jerseys, gotta be like, yeah, we're
Go.
done.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out of here.
We should share what happened after the pod.
Oh yeah, tell it.
He worked a
yeah.
miracle right here in the studio.
Oh, he did.
As soon as we
I got the
stopped
photos
recording,
from it. I can send it to you.
Yeah, we'll put it in. As soon as we stopped recording,
Yeah.
he spilled the coffee next to him.
No, his forearms.
His forearm, his massive
Knocked the coffee
striated
Yeah.
forearms knocked over the coffee
And then
onto
he-
our fuzzy white rug here,
Yeah.
and he
And look at this
proceeded
rug. You're not
to-
getting caught. You're not getting stains out of this.
he Tebowed right in front of us,
did.
and then
I didn't even
used
think
the
about
Tide
that.
pen and cleaned it up and worked a miracle through the Tide pen, and it was gone.
You know how
can't see it.
Jesus, put the net in the water and pulled where to get the Tide pen?
He said cast the Tide pod, the Tide pen over
he
there.
said throw the
Yeah.
nets on the other side of the boat.
Yes.
Came up with the Tide Pod. Mm-hmm. I don't even know where he got that.
I mean,
He pulled it out of somewhere.
yeah,
he went.
He had loaves of bread and fishes and Tide pens, and he
and just pulled
them
it out.
Yeah,
and then there's no stain.
none.
They were
None.
like, somebody spilled coffee here yesterday. They're like, where is it?
I have gotten on my hands and knees and looked for it. It's not there. It's gone.
Dude, Tebow really did work a miracle live.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think the best part of the pod is when he was just fired up. You're gonna be fired up when you listen to the
Yeah.
episode, whether it's about your life, whether about your faith, whether about your family, whether about the future. You're gonna be jacked up.
All jokes aside, after you left, we were talking about it some more, and I was like, I feel he's somebody that makes you a little bit like insecure about your walk in a good way.
Dang, dude.
Of like he's
Yeah.
so on fire and so passionate, it made me kind of be like, all
gotta
right,
st- I gotta
I should
step
probably
up.
step it up. Yeah, I could be better.
He's like one of those guys that your parents always say, you're like, you are who your 5 friends are. If you had 5 Tebows.
I think he equals 5 regular
One- yeah.
guys. You
I
just
think
need
your
one
parents.
Tebow.
I think that quote was made up by parents that didn't like their kids' friends.
Yeah,
For sure,
it's like
dude.
you chose to live here.
You're like, I'm surrounded by y'all most of the day. Why am I not better?
Yeah.
Why am I not better? Let's get into it. You want to just get into
Throw
it?
that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first, let's say, what are his credentials? Big forearms. First ever sophomore to win the Heisman Trophy. I lived in Denver when he beat the Steelers with that pass over the middle. Left-handed?
Huge. Yes.
Is he lefty?
Yes, he is. Yep.
Left-handed?
Yep.
A multi-professional sport athlete.
Yep.
Yeah, didn't make it all the way to the pros. Wait, no, it is the
No,
pros.
he played pros. He didn't play
Baseball's
big
pro.
leagues.
Yeah,
but
he played in the pros.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's as a man. What other qualifications do you need? You're hired for any job if you say I've played 2 professional sports.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a nurse. You go, get in here, dude. You figure it out. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Tim Tebow. Welcome in. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Tebow is in the house, everybody. We were trying to debate.
I love it. My man with Bama hat it didn't clap at all. He took a sip of his coffee.
Yeah.
He's mad
early,
right now.
dude. Early.
Yeah.
Ties run deep.
He's so frustrated. Why would he be on?
We should. What do we need to? Well, we're trying to argue if you were the most athletic guest we've ever had.
I
Because
think it's no debate.
well, we had
it's not
Herb
close.
Street though, but you would. He's more decorated, much more decorated than Herb Street. Athletically, yeah.
Not if we talk about outfits, though. I'm just kind of chill. Herb Street, has
Herb Street will go
awesome
hard.
fancy
Yeah.
suits.
Kirk gets a fit off. He does.
Yeah, he gets it, and so does Marty.
Oh yeah.
Marty.
But
gets a
I
fit
would
off.
say this to him, so this isn't saying behind his back, but sometimes it is really tight. His outfit. Every week we
Marty
talk,
Smith.
and in fairness, Marty admits it.
Yeah.
He's like, man, if I try to do something too athletic, these pants are ripping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're ripping.
That'll
Yeah.
happen.
And,
Yeah,
and they have. Yeah.
but they have, didn't you?
Isn't Marty just the best though?
Marty Smith is unbelievable, man. I was on his pod. Yeah, he's
awesome.
written a bunch of books too. He's on the team.
He's
You ripped your shirt off a couple weeks ago, didn't you? That's
but
how
I
we
had
like to
another
start.
one on.
That's
I
how
had
you had
another
another.
one
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
He was picking who was it against,
That was Florida, Texas.
and he ripped off his shirt to have a Florida tank top
I think
underneath.
that's the gateway to being McAfee, though. I think it's the full shirt off is just another shirt underneath.
Yeah,
it for a
I
little
ripped
bit,
this
and
one
then
off.
eventually, and then there's no more.
Just
shirt.
one more
Yeah.
step.
That's it.
Like,
Yeah.
what's the next layer?
You're right there. Yeah,
It's down the
for
line.
Sure. Yep.
What's the key to being a good guest?
A good
to
guest?
coming on those shows. Sometimes the guys try to do too much. Is that too much? You got to
No, I
want to
think
hang
just-
in the pocket.
I think just having fun, having an idea of like what's happening.
Yeah.
Knowing where you are. is
That
a good
helps.
Start.
That helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like having something of substance. It doesn't even mean about the game.
Yeah.
But just anything that's really fun or interesting.
Bring
or
something.
enlightening.
Yeah. What would be the best outside of Gainesville? Because I'm sure you're biased. What's your top SEC town
To play in.
to just go to? When you look at the schedule, you're like, we got to go.
Can I throw an underrated one?
Oh, let's hear it.
I do not think you would guess it. Any of y'all would guess it.
Underrated.
Yes, underrated.
Fayetteville.
Actually, I do think Fayetteville's underrated.
I'm only biased to Fayetteville, but yeah.
But I do think it's underrated. I think Fayetteville and the surrounding small
Yeah.
little cities is a wonderful place, sweet people. But I was going to say Starkville. Ooh. Starkville, I really believe the two
Starkville.
nicest fan bases in the SEC is Mississippi State and Auburn.
Wow.
They're the
Heard it
only
here
two-
first.
They're the only two places that when we would go play, my family would say, "You have no idea how nice. Hey, would you, Mr. and Miss Tebow, would you like to come eat with us? Would y'all like to
Really?
barbecue?" Like my mom and dad.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. We would go play in Death Valley, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of things I can't really repeat that would be said to them.
Yeah.
And
Not such hospitality in Tuscaloosa.
no, my mom would have to have people that would help her, follow her around, and be security for her.
Wow.
In Death Valley?
Because it was
And,
that intense.
Yeah.
And Starkville, they're like, no, we have fresh barbecue. Do you want to? Like, I love going to Starkville. I was I'm hoping we go this year. I think they're much better than
Got a
people
good-
give them
good
credit
program.
for. I love it. The people are so kind. They always bring. They show
think
up
I've ever
at
been.
4:00 in the morning. Like they love their team. The cowbells that does. When we leave, like
a
we're
lot.
flying out. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dang, my ears are still ringing. Like
Yeah.
it's tough, but Starkville's awesome.
Did you ever think, like coming up in football, that football would put you in a position where you can go certain places in the country and people don't like you? You know what I mean? Like you're coming up and you're just like living the dream, trying to play ball. Did you ever have that thought of like, wow, this is getting pretty big? people might hate me at some spots here forever,
I think I don't know that they necessarily hate you. I think they hate who you played for and the team. But I think the SEC especially, there's a unique thing about it that even they dislike you so much at times, there's also a deep level of respect for one another. Like, we could have such intense games against Alabama and Georgia and Tennessee, but man, all of those guys, when we would go see each other at the draft or the combine or any Senior Bowl, that's all we hung around.
Everybody's cool.
It's like you would get around them, and it would just be so unique because you were like, okay, we don't really know each other that well, but I know what you went through, and you know what I went through in this league, and the grind that it is, and there's such a level of respect. And you just kind of become friends.
Oh, you're talking about amongst the players.
Amongst the players, yeah.
And when you get to the league,
and even the
was it
fans.
same?
That's why fans will all chant. They don't like this team really, but they'll chant SEC, SEC, because there's such a deep level of respect for it, and I think that's really cool.
That's nice.
Whatever in the league, does everybody in the locker room gravitate toward SEC guys or no?
Oh yeah, I think you eventually become friends with everybody, but it's easy if it's like, oh, hey, Eric Berry or whatever, and all of a sudden, like, you have something to really connect on and a level of respect, and that really starts a good relationship and friendship, I think.
Gosh, you gonna move that mic up?
Grab his mic real quick, Cam. Yeah, we're just gonna keep you locked in. We're losing you a little bit.
Well, I grew up homeschooled. I was homeschooled. So I was homeschooled my whole life.
Up until college?
Up until high school.
Okay. I did the journey all the way till college, baby.
You did.
My first classroom was at University of Florida. Wow. It was like speech 101 at 7:40 in the morning. Stephanie Webster, my professor. Still probably one of my favorite professors I've ever had.
How many people in the class?
Oh, probably only 100 or so. It wasn't a massive class. Some classes at Florida, you can have massive classes.
It's a lot more than at your house is what I'm getting at.
Yes, it was. Sometimes my brother might be a part of one. My dog would sit in.
That's how ours was.
It was like,
full roster.
But what happened? Okay, but you just as a homeschooler myself, I need to get, so you were back in Florida, and then at 3:00 they'd say you could go over to the football team because you played high school football, obviously.
So I think it was like in 96.
Okay.
They passed a law in the state of Florida that any homeschooler was allowed to play in any public school in his or her area or any private school that would accept them.
Okay.
And
oh my, that's insane. All right.
And now it's like in like in
everywhere,
20 something states, maybe 30 states.
So if you lived in Georgia, we might never have a Tim Tebow.
We would have been moving to Florida then.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It was like but how do you NIL for homeschool? Like, just open it up and they're like, y'all can do whatever.
Transfer portal.
Yeah, have that.
This was a homeschool transfer portal.
Any private schools that'll
way
take
beforehand.
What's your take on the transfer portal? I've been living in this for a long time.
Let me tell you.
Okay. The homeschool transfer portal. You should see it.
Wait, was there other?
Every semester we're leaving.
Yeah, all of a sudden, all the 5 stars are homeschooled now. Everyone's doing class at home.
Wait, was there other schools that you could have gone to? That's how this podcast is.
Homeschool transfer portal.
So was there other schools that? What about the private school at the time?
So
did they want you or were they not interested?
My 2 older brothers played at a school called Trinity Christian, and then I started playing there, and I played there a little bit in middle school and then in high school my freshman year.
Yeah.
And
but
they wanted me to play linebacker and tight end. And
the Christian school did.
The Christian school did, yes. And I just had a dream to go play quarterback. And so we looked all around, all of Jacksonville and even in Ocala and different places. Yep. And then I met this coach named Craig Howard.
Read about him, yeah.
Yeah, who just took the job at Nice High School. And one of my dad's friends said, "Hey, you just need to go meet him. He's special." And I'm thinking in my head, Nice High School? Like,
okay, it's small.
No, I think it was a 4A school, 6A is the biggest, so it's pretty big. But I think they were 2-8 that year.
Oh, not good.
I think 1-9 the year before. I don't remember them ever going to the playoffs beforehand, had never won a state championship. And so I'm thinking, man, like, this is a dream. I want to go really pursue this. But I was like, okay, I really trusted this guy's opinion. I went and met him. And within 5 minutes of sitting down with him, I looked at my dad and I said, Dad, I think this is a coach I'm supposed to play for.
I'm fired up, dude.
Oh,
Let's
dude, he was
go.
awesome.
Yeah.
He was unreal. He was one of the best coaches I've ever gotten to play for.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to play for some really good ones.
Yeah.
And he was so special. He changed the whole culture of the school, changed the culture of the community. I can still tell you so many things that he taught us. He would always say, guys, it's our job to love you and it's your job to love one another. Our motto is going to be character, strength, and honor. You're going to do what's right. You're going to do your best. You're going to treat others the way you want to be treated. And we're going to do things different. Every time we score a touchdown, when we're getting ready for the kickoff, we're going to hold up our right hand with our hand open, and we're going to chant Mo for momentum. And that 5 is going to mean that we are going to stop them, get the ball back, and score again in 5 minutes. And we're going to have all the crowd do it. And the first time he tells the team and all of our community this, they're like, this guy's crazy. But it's what a great leader does. A great leader, in my opinion, they paint a picture of where you are, but where you can be, and they inspire and believe people that you can accomplish it. And he would go into classrooms and into the other teams, because we only had, a couple dozen kids that were on the football team, and he would go to the gym and go find kids that were wrestling or weightlifting or playing basketball or baseball, and he'd be like, hey, I think you could be great on the football team. And he'd recruit kids onto the team.
From the school.
That were already going to the school. But they looked at the football
athletic.
program like...
Oh, they didn't want to play football.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
it was unbelievable, the change. And that first year, you'll get this, how bad people thought we were. Every one of our road games, all 5 in the regular season, we were that team's homecoming.
August homecoming?
You know that people think you suck if you're their homecoming team.
Oh, you're playing us for home? Disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
disrespectful.
like, oh, you're playing the
We're not
homeschool
good.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, homecoming.
Yeah. Was there any kind of hey, listen, we got a Christian homeschooler in here, no cussing in the locker room. Tim Tebow's here.
No.
He didn't change any of that.
No, but I remember one of my first practice. I think it maybe was my first practice there, where we're finishing having to do sprints and stuff at the end, and I was pretty quiet for the most part in the practice, and at the end I was like, hey, here we go, guys, let's go, let's finish, come on, let's not be lackadaisical, let's finish. And one of the dudes goes, lackadaisical? That's a pretty big word for a homeschooler. I didn't say anything. And then when we got back to pads and practice, we were running a speed option play, and he was the opposite safety. I could have run the design play. I didn't. I stopped and I cut back and I ran directly at him. And it was not how the play was designed at all.
Right.
And I wanted to force him to make a business decision, and he did not like it, and he did not say anything about being homeschooled or lackadaisical again. And we actually ended up becoming really good friends.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You'd be like you don't understand what homeschool is. Words is all we have. What you mean?
I mean,
we do vocab. That's all we got.
I am a lefty and dyslexic. I can't spell lackadaisical,
Well,
but
yeah.
I
got it.
I can throw it out there once in a
I got
while.
it in the chamber.
Yeah.
I've been reading this Matthew McConaughey book about it's called Green Lights, but there's a lot of stories that are similar to that, because we've seen you over the last 20 years. We've all kind of grown with you, and you've had a lot of things that you are I would say convicted or passionate about, or beliefs that you have, and some of them have and haven't worked out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so things like, I go, how's he so passionate, but you were like that? Like, that seems early. If you were like, I believe in this guy, but you're in 9th grade. Like, we see you now as an adult having strong convictions and going in this direction, but were you always like that?
I was
like, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, I had a lot of passion and convictions at a lot of times, but I also don't know that I've always liked that. I think that my parents had a massive impact on my life in a lot of areas, and in different areas. One of those areas that my dad was and still is one of the greatest heroes to me was the level of passion and courage and dedication that he had to what he believed God called him to, and watching that was so contagious. And I wanted to strive for that. I wanted to try to live a life that if I did something, I would try to be all in.
Yeah.
Right? Why just show up and, sort of do it? And one very impactful day for me, my dad got home from being gone the whole summer on the mission field, and just my dad.
You were back home in Florida?
We were at,
okay, he was
Jackson.
still down. Yeah,
he was overseas, and he sat me and my brothers down, and he just shared just how much he loved us, and he's emotional with it. And he said, guys, I want you to know how much I love you and how much I care about you, and I love that you have dreams and ambitions, and I want you, he's getting ready to show us a movie, and he said, I want you to watch this movie and watch the main character of this movie, because if you love whatever it is that you want to do and you have passion like the man in this movie and you're willing to sacrifice like the man in this movie, you will be different, unique, contagious, and people want to be around you. And it was just so convicting for me. And then along the way, we'd be going to whatever practices, games, Sunday schools, day camps, all the different things we'd go to. And my dad would be like, hey, you really love what you're doing? Because if not, do what you love. Be all in with it. Be passionate about it. Be willing to sacrifice. Because if not, do something else.
Yeah. What was the movie? Like Die Hard or something?
Braveheart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Braveheart. Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to say Rudy.
And it was a little much for an 8-year-old.
Yeah,
That was a lot.
I have a joke about that in my show. Yeah.
What's that?
Or that I go, like, we watched Braveheart. There was like a scene where the husband and the wife kiss. We had to fast forward that.
Well,
but we could watch a beheading.
To tell you the truth about it, I'm not sure that I'm not sure my mom was really happy.
Yeah.
But what's funny about it is what my dad watched, because he had watched it on a plane flight home. It was the edited version.
That sounds like my dad too.
It's not the one he rented.
So he's teaching you guys this amazing lesson, and it's going to these scenes, and he's like, did I sleep during the movie or something? I don't remember this at all.
This wasn't in the movie.
This one's 4 hours. The one on the plane was 2. Some other scenes in here. There's some other scenes.
This isn't the example part. This isn't just fast forward.
Yeah, this isn't one.
Well, if like as a missionary, which is a life of conviction already to do it, but I feel like there would be. We support and follow a bunch of missionaries now. It's like, hey, the political climate, we're going to come home. The funding, we're going to come home. Our church that originally backed us, we're going to, like, there's a lot of things that, I don't know if this question is going to make sense, but that we're passionate about this, we're convicted, but we could be thrown off.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yes, I love it. I want to share something that my dad would always share with me. He would always say, Timmy, there's a difference between caring and called. There's a lot of people that go, let's just use missionaries as an example. They show up and they care about it. They really care about it. But no matter what you do, you are going to face adversity. And when he would use the example of when you get a bloody nose, what do? If you just care about it and you get a bloody nose, you're going to look for every reason to care about something else. Yeah. Well, hey, this isn't working out. We got this. And we can find the reasons to go back, come back, leave, right? But if you're called and you get a bloody nose, you find every reason to stay. And there's a big difference, because if you really believe you're called there, then part of what you're going through is exactly what God had intended for you to go through. Mm-hmm. Because God is somehow also going to use that frustration, that setback, that disappointment, that whatever it is. And I think that's also really important that man, when we are going through life and we fall short and we mess up and we face adversity, which I fall short every single day, but then you're still called to something. And how do we define calling? Well, specifically for us and our ministry and our foundation and our family, it's an urgent and divine invitation to accept responsibility for a particular task. When you believe you're called, it's urgent, it's divine. The question is, are you going to accept responsibility for a particular task? And I got to watch my dad my whole life growing up have an urgent and divine calling, and he was going to accept responsibility for every single person in the Philippines and as many in Southeast Asia to hear the good news of the gospel, that was what he was called to. And because he accepted the call and God used him in the ministry, over 30 million people have come to know Jesus.
Wow.
Because of that. And it's why he's one of my biggest heroes. Is he's not someone that could look away or find every reason to leave, but find every reason to stay and stand in there when it gets hard. And I'll tell you, another reason why he's one of my biggest heroes and examples is because you know how many times they said, "Oh, if you come preach here, I want you to know we're going to kill you." And he'd get up and he'd say, "I just want you to know how much you're loved. I want to tell you what the God of this universe has done for you." Yeah. One of my favorite stories about my dad was he was preaching in a remote village, and there was a guy that walked into the back of this village, and he's holding a machete, and he's walking forward holding the machete in his hand. My dad just feels this prick on his heart to start talking about forgiveness. So he's preaching on forgiveness as this guy's walking forward and walks up to the front. And my dad's speaking like this, just walks literally right up to the front. And he said, I want you to know that I came here to kill you. And I want to ask if you would forgive me. Wow. So I am very fortunate that I not only have an awesome dad, I have an awesome hero as a dad.
That's incredible.
What's he doing now? Still go back and forth?
He's got severe Parkinson's that he's fighting right now. Yeah. But if you ask him how he's doing, even in all the pain and everything he's going through, and it is a lot right now. He's had it for, probably 12-ish years. Yeah. And he'll just say blessed.
Man.
That's a role model.
Yes.
That's amazing, man.
That's unbelievable, man. This week's episode brought to you by Brunt Workwear. Listen, he's not in studio right now for this ad, but Tim Tebow, he told me he loved Brunt.
Big Brunt guy.
Yeah, big.
For
just
sure.
in general. Yeah. He would be these kind of boots. Yeah. If Tim Tebow had to take a manual labor job, which he would go give me some Brunt Workwear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm top to bottom, brother. I got the Brunt boots. I wear them all the time. Started wearing them with shorts. Now it's getting, now it's getting cold. Mm-hmm. So I go Brunt with the jeans now.
They're like pre-broken in out of the box too, right? So you put them on, you don't feel like you really got to break them.
Nah,
you're
working.
That's nice.
You're working. Yeah, especially in Nashville. I think everybody goes cowboy boots. Not me, dude. Brunt.
Yeah.
Who do you want helping you out in the case of emergency? A guy in a pair of Brunt boots or some snakeskin cowboy? He can't get those things dirty.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, get the Brunts. And I feel like I'm a little taller.
Oh, for sure.
That's not an ad.
They got a little heel on them.
Yeah, they got a little heel on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm 6. Obviously, everybody knows that I'm 6'2". I don't need to measure myself because it's available for everybody to see. This might put me at 6'2.5", 6'3".
Yeah, you're up there.
Might be.
Yeah.
People look at me with more respect.
That's
not in the copy for sure.
They look up at you.
Limited time, ladies and gentlemen, our listeners get $10 off at Brunt when you use the code NETPOSITIVE at checkout. Head over to BruntWorkwear.com and use the code NETPOSITIVE, and you good to go. I got the, they also sent me a hat that I wear a pretty good amount of time, and a pencil.
Oh, nice.
Because I was going to think, what's a construction pencil?
Yeah.
Yeah. You show up in the job with not a construction pencil, you're out.
That's the rectangle one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign for.
That's nice.
Yeah, they got all kind of apparel in there. Get on. Oh, Christmas is coming up.
Yeah.
Christmas is coming up. We need to get yourself some Brunt. Ladies and gentlemen, use the code NETPOSITIVE at checkout, BruntWorkwear.com, and you're good to go. This week's episode also brought to you by Poncho. Hey, it's everywhere. Ponchos everywhere. You go outside, you're like, where are people getting this poncho? Oh, I'm gonna go to the mall and pick up some poncho. No, you're not. You're gonna get it online.
Yeah.
You're gonna get online exclusively, and it's starting to be one of those things. We advertise other things, and then we see them outside. We're stoked.
Yeah.
I start to see other people with poncho
in the wild.
Yeah, and I've been messing up. I think because I go, for some reason, the first time I heard about poncho was when they started advertising. So I messed up, and I thought a guy was a listener. He goes, what? No. He goes, I go, dude, net positive? He goes, no. I go, oh.
You're like, oh, people know about this outside of just me telling them about
shoot,
it? Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't build this entire brand? They're like, no, dude, you idiot.
I don't have a percentage of every dollar spent. Oh, okay, got it.
Oh, dude, I go, wow, this guy must know me. I go, I'm John Crist. He goes, what? Why are you introducing yourself to me?
It was cool, man.
Oh, I thought you were in poncho. It was in my at Lydia's apartment complex. He got in the elevator wearing poncho, and I was like, I'm John. He goes, what? No, dude.
I'm John. The John.
No. Gear up for fall with poncho, baby. Every piece is built for comfort, performance, and lasting style. Go to ponchooutdoors.com/net positive and enter your email for $10 off your first order. That's poncho, PONCHO, ponchooutdoors.com/net positive for $10 off and free shipping. And when they asked how you've heard about them, let them know the guys from Net Positive sent you. But apparently people are coming in from other sources.
Sure, yeah.
Because I see a lot of poncho.
Yeah.
And they got new stuff. I went and bought a box for myself.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, I didn't even use I used the promo code, but I was like, hey, can you give me free stuff? Because I said, no.
Yeah.
I'm supporting the brand.
That's great.
Poncho, ladies and gentlemen, ponchooutdoors.com/net positive. Yeah, it is. Just like if you go, well, this is what I'm doing, and I believe that everybody. We talked about this on this podcast before that there's a lot of people that my dad as well as a pastor. He was called into the ministry when he was about 12 or 13. He was a pastor for 30 years, and it didn't really. The building, we lost the financing on the building, or we had to move towns, or you go, well, what do you mean? That, like, I not to compare myself in any way, but as a comic, I go, there's you as a football player too, there's tremendous challenges every day.
Absolutely.
But like as a business owner, tremendous. And you just go, well, we could hang it up at any time.
Yeah.
We could be done at any time, but you're like, well, we're not. I believe in what I'm doing, and that people need to be that I like contribute my voice and go and do what God has called me to do as well. You're like, well, it doesn't really matter what challenges are in front of us. This is what we were put here for.
When you really believe you're called, I believe that. When you just care about something, it's different. You're like, okay, I can care about something else really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
For a second.
And that's a really big distinction. It's one of the ways that we talk about it, because it's, when you meet someone that you're like, wow, that's incredible, most of the time it's because they're called.
Yeah.
But it's easy to care about a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, then that would be not contradictory to, but if I believe we joke, but we've also that was it a halftime speech or a presser that you did that you're like, well, we're going to be the hardest working team. What was that?
Post game.
Yeah. Okay.
The greatest of all time.
Well,
After
yes.
we lost. Yeah.
So if you say, I saw a reel of yours from a while back. It was like, it's my greatest trial is football, or putting the ball between the goalposts, and I missed the mark. You know what I'm talking about? What I challenge you and to say, well, I believe you were called to Florida to play football. Would you agree with that or no?
Oh, I don't know about that. I would say, no, I don't mean yes or no. I mean, I don't know. I think that God has used the game to give me a platform to do more important things. But specifically, probably what maybe you're referring to is that I've shared a few times, is that at the end of my life, if my greatest effort, passion, which passion's just a 12th century Latin word, that means to suffer, right? Okay. If my greatest suffering and sacrifice and focus and determination and effort was for a game, then my life missed the mark. If that's where my greatest effort was, if I end my life and I'm looking back at my life, or I'm in heaven looking back, and I say, man, that's what I gave my greatest effort to, then my life missed the mark. Now, it doesn't mean that I shouldn't give good effort. I think whatever our hand finds to do with all of our might. Like, listen, I don't believe that God called us to suck. There's not a day I've woke up in my life that's like, yes, today's a good day to lose. That's not my point. My point is if I was willing to give such a level of effort to a game, right, to growing up and the passion of it, or in college or in the NFL or playing baseball or whatever, and I'm willing to focus and I'm willing to strategize and I'm willing to compete and I'm willing to do all of this. I'm willing to give up time, vacations, friends, so many things. I'm willing to play with broken bones. I'm willing to do whatever I could to be my best. And I'm willing to do it. And let's just take football, for example. For a game that you take a fake pigskin, you put it inside a rectangle, inside another rectangle, while 11 dudes chase you around. And you end your life. And that's what your greatest passion is for. And the reason I say that is not because you shouldn't give effort to it. It's because if I would give the effort to that, then what should I be willing to do for the cause of Christ? Mm-hmm. What should I be willing to do for what I've been called to? What should I do for the suffering in our communities and around the world? My point with that and the example is that if I would give it all to this, not bad, then how much more so should I do for things that are going to last for eternity? Yeah. That's the challenge. That's the challenge to me. And that's where I would sit here today and say that I hope that if we get to have a conversation at the end of my life or in heaven looking back, I could say, John, it started for a game, but it ended for the cause of Christ. I hope I can switch it.
Yeah, it
with
started.
The days that I have.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't say if you wouldn't be your calling to go to a foreign country or to somewhere to tell people about the gospel. I think God had used football and the journey that you had to have the most success. To tell people about the Lord.
Yeah, I think he's used the highs and the lows.
I mean, if he would have put you in the Big Ten, that would have been trouble. You know? I'm just joking. It would have been less of an impact. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it'd be less of an impact. Yeah, they don't care as much. I'm just kidding. Sorry, it got too serious. It's all right. I got sidetracked.
He gets too uncomfortable. He gets too serious.
He's like,
what do I do?
I
got to tell a joke.
Sorry. But it is. I think we've watched, like, I say successes and failures but you've, like, everybody's watched him and he goes, well, he says he's going to do it. So we never really have doubted, but there has been times that, like, what you are saying, I know you believe based on what I've seen of you, because you're like, no, this is what we're doing. And you've, like, at times with baseball or with football, you go, that seems like, but only someone with that belief could do that. You wouldn't even gotten to the public school to play without that belief. You would have to have had it from the beginning, which comes from your parents, I guess.
Yeah, it's such a big influence on me. But I would also say, man, that I'm grateful for the highs in my life that God has given me, because they've given me a platform. But I'm also grateful now for the lows. I couldn't have said that a lot of times in them. Yep. At least I might have said it. I don't know if I would have always believed it in my heart, though. Yep. In the lows, but I really am now, because I really feel like God has worked in my heart and in my life and in my mindset, in my relationship with Him, and the humbling process of it as well in the lows. And I really believe that in this journey of life and trying to learn, grow, adapt, be more of who we're called to be, it's not just in the highs. It's especially in the lows. And will you really be willing to view that setback as actually a set up? Yep. A few years ago when I signed with the Jaguars and was playing for Urban, and I was, excited about this. I gave up baseball to go back to football to do this. And I'm so excited about it. This opportunity, just the dream and the vision, right? It's something that we think could be successful. Obviously, everything but successful. Got to play one preseason game. I get cut the day after. I think
by Urban? Dude, you brought me here.
I think it was my birthday, maybe the day after. Not that that matters, but it just feels like it makes it worse. I don't know.
That matters.
And then I remember going home, and my wife's so encouraging and so sweet. And I know so many of the biblical truths and promises, but it's so hard to hold on to it in that moment, right? And why? For me, because I really believed it was all about me and my pride, and my ego, and really thinking, y'all would watch, if you turn on any station after that, all of them and everyone is just playing all of my worst plays and the worst highlights of that. And it's not just that. It was the thought of, is this how it ends? Is this how I'll be remembered? Is this how it finishes? And it was so much about my pride, really. And my wife's trying to encourage me, and it's not really helping that much. And trying to be honest. And and at that same time, our military is pulling out of Afghanistan, and because of that, the conflict and the crisis and the chaos is just taking place all over. And we had partners and teams that were serving in areas in the Middle East, in really hard areas. And so I had the chance to fly to one of those areas, and we land, and people are fighting for their lives. And right when we get into this evacuee and refugee camp, I mean, people have been abused and stomped on and raped, and just it is chaos and so many suffering. And we get to serve there for a few days, and then we get on another plane and fly to another country to go serve there. And it was the first time since I had been cut, when I was flying on that plane to that second country, that I could honestly say to God, thank you for letting me get cut. Because I had viewed it as signing with the Jaguars as a setup, but then getting cut from the Jaguars as a setback. But it wasn't true. It was actually getting cut from the Jaguars was the setup, because God was reminding me what I'm ultimately called to do, and caring for the vulnerable and the suffering around the world. And actually, if I wouldn't have signed with them and then gotten cut, I wouldn't have had the freedom, because I would have had my schedule booked, and we would be doing the next thing, and I wouldn't have had the freedom to then fly to the Middle East. And so what I was viewing as a setup wasn't what I was viewing as a setback wasn't really a setback. It was a setup, because God was reminding me in His kindness and His consistency in it that no, you thought that it was about just getting back and playing in the game, and I could use that. No, but that's not what I've called you for. That's not what I've created you for. I've created you to care for the most vulnerable, and I'm reminding you of it.
Yeah.
And this is actually the setup to remind you, this is what I've called you most for, not a game.
I wonder if a lot of people think that this is how it ends.
When they go through some struggles, I think so. I think that's a fear.
Well, that's every... somebody told me that they were like, and I don't know, I'm sure have had tremendous setbacks, but they go like a guy like every documentary, especially sports documentary, why are they so compelling? Well, he came from here. He got cut, Michael Jordan, and then the reason why they make the whole thing, if this guy's a 5-star athlete from the beginning, wins the whole time, that's not a documentary.
Yeah.
It's not the reason why they make a documentary is like, oh my goodness, this guy, Tom Brady, cut 6th round pick, cut from the team. And I think when you see the whole story, that's what we love watching, those stories. And you've had them and I've had them. It's tremendous setbacks. But I think at the time, and everybody in here, whether you're a parent, business owner, citizen, dealt with health issues, I wonder if at the very bottom people go, I wonder if this is how it ends.
Yeah. But I think with a lot of those, we see the resurgence and then it ends back happy to what they think the goal is. I think the difference in what I'm saying is what I thought the goal to get back to that
Was
would
a
be
Super
the fairy
Bowl or
tale
something.
ending.
Yeah, that's not the
Yes.
ending of this
That's
one.
a-
Yeah,
that's
okay,
right.
great point.
It's not.
And it shouldn't be.
It's
Yeah.
the dream and the vision wasn't the fairy tale. It was a changing of my mind and my
Yep.
heart of what the actual real
Yep.
goal was. The goalpost changed.
Yeah, that's a good way to say. So if you go, like I think about your dad, I don't know him, but being in eternity and somebody like taps you on the shoulder, he goes, "Hey, I'm only up here because of you."
Yeah.
Would be, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody goes,
There would be
"Hey,
a
I
lot
was,
there would
I
be
was,
a lot of people that will say that to him.
Tim, I was trafficked, and I just want to say thanks for everything you did for me." I don't know if that's a real scenario, or I don't even know how that works, but that seems to me, if we're talking about a documentary,
No,
the
that's
Super Bowl it would be that.
no, it would.
That would be the end scene. There you go. Hey, I just want to let you know that you came over to visit our orphanage and the love that you shared with us and maybe the one of those children, I didn't believe in myself, and you came over and showed us love and affection and that we mattered, and then I went on to be, thank you, man. You'd be like, that would be it.
I share this story from one of my favorite people. He was an 8-year-old boy that was abandoned and treated like a throwaway in Africa. And there was a family in Texas that found out they could care for him and sponsor his main needs for about $30 a month.
Okay.
And this is a family that did not have a lot of material things, but they thought, man, I don't know how we're going to do this, but we just try to be faithful and God will provide. And they worked. They did so many extra little things to be able to every month pay for this boy. That boy has grown up to be an incredible man, to influence some of the most influential people in the entire world. And he has rescued and safeguarded so many kids. Yeah. And one of his biggest callings is to fight against the sacrifice of boys and girls. And he's an incredible man. And he was coming to the States to influence some of the most influential people on our planet, and very good at that. But then for the first time, he got to fly to Texas to see the family that supported him, and I wanted to be there.
Yeah,
very badly. I couldn't be there, but I know how special it was for the first time that he got to say, "Thank you for giving me a chance," and that would be
unbelievable. Yeah,
that would be the goal.
And I think a lot of people do, especially maybe younger than us. Maybe I'm 41. The generation coming up below us, I do see maybe a little bit of and that's maybe what your book is about a little bit, is a little bit of confusion about what exactly are we doing here on this planet? What exactly do I put my hands to in terms of work? And then I'm seeing all these things where it goes, God, it would be nice that you grew up, this is what we're going, we're for the cause of Christ. That being said, I've been gifted at football, but there's no, in the Tebow house and in the Crist house as well, there was no confusion about where we were going in terms of what we were doing on this planet and what we were here for, obviously to serve Christ and also to be kind to others, to do what's best for the community. There was no confusion in my house growing up, and the discipline, I think, helped put that in. We knew exactly where the Crist family was going.
Yeah,
at all times, and it seems like a little bit of that has been lost. Do you think so?
Well, I think that we're in a society right now that is starving for purpose. I think there's one study, I believe I've seen it, if I'm accurate with it, I think it's 3 out of 5 young adults are lacking purpose and meaning, that's how they feel.
Yep.
And when you look at also young adults, the third leading cause of death is suicide. When you are talking about, I believe it's 29% of adults have depression. When you look at the evil and the fight against good and evil that's taking place around the world right now, there's a lot of people that are trying to figure it out. And that is a big
That's a good way to say it.
It is a big heart of look again, it's really I hope and pray that it is a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call that human worth is fixed, that we would fight the lie that some lives matter less, because that is a lie from the enemy. And the reason I called it Look Again is because we really do have to look again at who we are, who God has created us to be, and that we would really understand that and recognize our worth. And when we recognize our true worth to God, it would renew our hope, and our hope would then allow us to go run with confidence. Yep. And right now, I really believe that there's a lot of people that are starving for hope because they don't know if they have worth, because so much of our society values people on what they do that is valuable, rather than valuing them because who they are is infinitely valuable to our Creator. Yeah. Your value doesn't come because what you do. Your value comes because who you are. Period. End of story. And could you imagine if we valued people, if their worth and their value didn't come from because what they did that we thought was valuable, or what they did that we didn't think that's not valuable.
Yep.
But obviously, with so many examples, that's taking place around our society and around the world right now. That's why you have 50 plus million people that are trapped in human trafficking right now. It's why you have 153 million abandoned orphans, orphans or abandoned children. It's why you have 700 million people that are malnourished around the world. It's why you will have every single day 300,000 new sex ads, and thousands of them are minors every single day. Why? Because there's a demand for that. Therefore, people aren't looking at all of these people, especially the boys and girls, for their God-given worth and value. They're looking at them for profit or for pleasure, or how I can use you. Yep. And
that becomes secondary. If all the mistreatment of people in the world you have to first put out this person.
That's right. You have to first believe.
You have to first get rid of that.
You have to get rid of it.
Yeah, have to.
To do this to something, you have to. It's implied in that.
Yeah, we've made the example on this pod before. If you're going to go into Starbucks at 6 a.m. and yell at that barista for not making your coffee right, you first have to get out of your head that her alarm went off at 4:30.
That's right.
That she's making minimum wage.
That's right.
That she has been doing this for 7 hours. You have to get rid of all that to verbally mistreat someone.
There's no doubt.
You have to do that first. And if you're going to commit an act of violence, even against yourself, suicide, you have to first.
I have to devalue myself.
You have to. That has to come first.
Yes, it has to come first.
That's a great point.
And if we actually, and why I was so convicted and thinking about it for years of the title of this book, Look Again, is because I truly, my hope and prayer is that people would look again at who they are, who God has created them to be. Because then once I believe that, and then when I see you through that same lens, I have to see you as valuable. I have to.
There's no other way.
And if I see you as valuable, I'm going to treat you as valuable.
Yep.
And if I treat you as valuable, well, guess what? What do we do with valuable possessions? We treasure them. We care for them. Could you imagine if I dropped a penny right now and I said, John, I dropped a penny. Like, we got to turn over everything. We got to move the carpets. We got to find this penny. You would look at me and be like, Tebow, you're an idiot. But if my wife was in here and she dropped her wedding ring and I said, John, my wife dropped her wedding ring in here. We got to find it. I bet you all of you would probably be helpful. Because you know that it is valuable to her and it is innately valuable. A diamond wedding ring is valuable.
We can get a new one, but not that one.
Not that one.
Not that one.
It's valuable.
Yeah,
and so we would stop and we would look and we would find it. Guess what?
We would look all
right
day.
now in our society, we treat people like pennies instead of more valuable than any diamond that has ever been created in the history of ever.
Yep.
Like, what
Every
if we
human
did
life.
what every human life is more valuable than any diamond that's ever been created. Like,
And
imagine if
yeah.
we saw it that way, if we
Yeah.
saw people that way.
You have to think about yourself that way first.
You have to think about yourself that
Yeah.
way. And I don't mean that from an arrogant perspective.
agree. I know.
mean it from a worth and a value perspective. And this journey really started for me about 4 years ago with specifically Look Again, because we were at a Night to Shine. A Night to Shine is a worldwide celebration for individuals with special needs. And it's one of our favorite nights of the year. It's how I got introduced to my wife. And it's just one of our favorite things that we get so fortunate and blessed to be a part of. And we were in Arizona. And this is just coming out of COVID, and we're having this red carpet where all these awesome, like, fancy cars are driving down, and all the kings and queens are in the back seats, and they're cheering down the red carpet, and all the fans are going crazy for them, and I'm yelling, losing my voice for it, and for all the kings and queens, and there's this red convertible that is driving by, and there's this young lady in a red dress with blonde hair. And she is just cheering and just like soaking it in, smiling, just beaming with joy. And the Corvette drives by, and I see on the back, I didn't even know that our team at the foundation was working with the churches to put bumper stickers on the back of the cars.
Okay.
But when she drives by, I see on the back of the car that it says royalty on board. Yep. And I just thought, man, that's it.
Yep.
That's who she is. She is royalty. So it started me down this journey of looking into the image of God and what that really means, because kind of growing up in the church, I've heard about the image of God talked about in the Imago Dei and, all of this, but what does that really
So you
mean?
put on you?
No, I didn't put it on my ass.
Yeah, you put it on your thing.
No, I didn't.
Imago Dei, didn't you put that on there?
No.
Oh, shit, dude. What'd you put on there?
That was AI.
Like Philippians 4:13, John 3:16,
every time?
and other verses. Yeah.
Some of that must be another athlete.
Yeah.
AI got you, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
And
what it was. Yeah.
so I started to really look at what does it mean to be made in the image of God, because I pretty much had always heard it's rational, relational, or functional, that we're rational beings to be able to think and strategize and process information. We're relational to be able to have a relationship with God and a relationship with one another, or it's functional that we're called to rule and reign and subdue the earth, right? And I think all three of those are part of being made in the image of God. But what about the 16% of the world's population that has special needs? That they can't do some of those things to the same extent. Well, if that's being made in the image of God, then are they made less in the image of God because they can't do that? And I believe wholeheartedly, absolutely, no.
Yeah.
But we start to study it and look, and we go and we interview and talk to a bunch of ancient Near East scholars and Old Testament scholars, and we're diving into it and really influenced, probably the most by two scholars, one Carmen Imes and Dr. Michael Bird, and a bunch of others that influenced me in this area. But we're looking at it and we're studying it, and then you realize that the term image of God is a term that in the ancient Near East would have been used as, for example, for an Egyptian pharaoh in the 1500s BC, they would have been made in the image of Ra, a god that they believed in. For an Assyrian king in the 600 BC would be made in the image of Bel, a god that they believed in. And then you would see statues of kings and monarchs that would be, the image of God or a god that they believed in, right? So the term image of God, when they would have been reading Genesis, the God of the Bible, and they would have seen that we are made in the image of God and in his likeness, it would have had a much different interpretation and emotion than we have. Because what they would have thought is, this is a term that we have only seen for kings or for monarchs. But now the God of the Bible is using this for all of humanity. That means it's a royal worth term. That God loves us so much that he would create us in his image. This is only a title for kings and for monarchs. It's an exalted title that they can use. The rest of humanity cannot. That's how we need to view how being made in the image of God is. That's the worth that we are called to have and know we have and then treat people with.
Yeah.
And then if we fast forward to the New Testament and then we look at the life of Jesus and the life, the death, the burial, the resurrection, the ascension of Jesus Christ and the free gift that he offers us of eternal life, but then also adoption into the family. That when we accept that free gift, we're adopted into his family. So if you're adopted as sons and daughters of the King, what are you? Royalty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's his heart. That's how he sees us. That's what he wants us to be. That's his love for us is one of royalty.
Yep.
What if we saw people as royalty? It would change our society. It would change our culture. It would change even the differences we have or the dislikes we have for one another. I get it. I dislike this about you, but dang, man, you're royalty.
Alabama fan. Yeah.
Yeah. Change your hat, put your royalty, bro.
Well, I think,
Alabama fans actually do think they're royalty, though.
There is a limit to this.
Made in the image of Nick Saban. Yeah. Well, this country is all the principles of this country are from Christ.
They are.
You look back at you're like, well, why is everyone created equal? Why does everyone life liberty pursue to happiness?
That's
No,
right.
these are Judeo-Christian.
They are, absolutely.
They're like, it's a Christian nation. Yeah, because they're modeled after the guy. Like when Jesus came, he's like, hey, the Ethiopian does not deserve to be treated different than the Israelite. Then you're like, hey, the Good Samaritan, hey, there's someone that is sick on the side of the road. Well, he said, no, we don't, for as long as everybody's been alive, you walk past that guy. Jesus is saying, nah, we stop for him.
Yeah.
And that's what our country obviously gets it wrong, and we've gone astray in many different ways, but the basis of this country was that everyone...
And I really believe it's one of the reasons why it's been one of the greatest countries, if not the greatest country ever in history.
No one had ever said everyone is equal.
Yes.
That you're like the monarchs, the rich, the ruling class. You can use other people.
Yes.
Going back to your point about Starbucks or trafficking. You're
That's
like,
right.
you are allowed to, for your gain, whether it's pleasure or ego or wit, you are allowed to use other people.
That's right.
The foundations of this country, in essence, we're saying that's not how this is going to work.
That's right. And we have to get back to that.
Yeah.
And if we get back to it,
if we could, I don't know what the way forward would be, but I mean, I do. But you go, yeah, we have to get that. No, you're not allowed to use other people for your own gain and treat people different because of the color of their skin or if they have a disability, or that's not how this works.
it's not.
This week's episode brought to you by Miracle Made, ladies and gentlemen. The weather is cooling down, and your nighttime bedroom temperature has a huge impact on your sleep quality. You know that? If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Miracle Made sheets are inspired by NASA and use silver-infused fabrics that are temperature regulated so you can get sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. Temperature regulated property for better quality sleep, self-cleaning, comfort, and quality, designed for your skin. I got a personal life upgrade.
Okay.
I don't hate to admit this. No, I don't hate to admit this.
Okay.
I've been working very hard for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm 41 years old.
For sure.
I'm not doing bedding anymore.
Tell me
Somebody
more.
comes over to the house, does the bedding.
I'm going to clap it up for that.
Hey,
dude. I'm proud of you.
yeah,
That's
dude.
nice.
Is that a big
That's a
step?
big move. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's big.
Well, I think a couple years ago I started getting the groceries delivered.
Nice.
I go, I'm not. Yeah. And I if we're gonna get to higher heights, I can't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's been holding
Not in
me
a
back.
flex way. Not in a flex way. But now, like, I can't. I used to wash my own car. Then I go get it. I go drive through the thing.
Right.
Is that a flex? That's everybody does that.
You got the membership, yeah?
No.
Ooh.
I don't get the membership. Yeah, I don't get that. So I
That might be next.
I still have aspirations.
Sure.
So it's like a house cleaner.
Yeah.
But like,
They also just do the sheets.
yeah, I know they do other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just say, here's the stuff that I do at the house. I'm giving jobs.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're
I
just
don't.
boosting the economy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
economy, dude. Boosting
Yeah.
the economy. Yeah. So I don't. I'm not.
stimulus.
I'm not. I'm not in the day to day of the sheets, but I did tell her in the instructions, hey, we had 2 sets of Miracle Maids. I go rotate them through.
Sure.
I'm Miracle made it out.
There you go.
Yeah, she know
The miracle made.
Made. Dang, dude. Upgrade the copy. Upgrade your sleep, ladies and gentlemen. As the weather cools down, go to trymiracle.com/net positive. Try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or a gift for a loved one, if you order today and get it, save over 40% and use the code promo. And use our promo, net positive, at checkout and get free 3-piece towel set and save an extra 20%. Miracle so confident the product's backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/net positive and use the code net positive to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. And save over 40% off? No, that's not written correctly. And save over 40% off. Save over 40%.
Yeah. You're right.
40% off.
Yeah, you're right.
Again, that's trymiracle.com/net positive to treat yourself. And thank you, Miracle, for sponsoring this show, ladies and gentlemen.
And if we also look at the heart of Jesus and the actions of Jesus, that Jesus was willing to go out of his way for the sake of the most vulnerable. Yeah. He was willing to be countercultural. He was willing to go against the Pharisees when they're like, man, you can't do this on the Sabbath.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. Yeah. I love this dude. He's valuable to me. I'm stopping and I'm going to show him how valuable he is to me. When we look at Matthew 25, and Jesus makes one of my favorite parts of Scripture because Jesus makes it personal to him. And it's one of the few times in Scriptures that he uses himself as the example. Whatever you have done to the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you have done unto me. That, as our society, we need to remember, especially as believers. If we say we love Jesus, then he's using himself as the example. That person you walk by, that person you just think in your head is less than, that person that is on the side of the street, that person that's homeless, and we drive by, and so many times we have the thought of, I wonder what they did to get there. Wrong thought.
I've had that thought, yeah.
Instead, it needs to be, you know what? I don't know what they've done, but they were worthy of Jesus going to the cross. They better be worthy of me stopping and caring for.
Yep.
Instead of evaluating and judging and making a judgment based on them, the judgment we need to make is that when Jesus went to the cross, they were worthy of that free gift. Guess what? They're worthy of me stopping for too.
As much as you, yeah.
Yeah, they were worthy of it as much as I am.
Do you ever get mad's the wrong word, or you're very passionate about, do you ever get mad at other Christians that they're not let's say, for example, for the trafficking or for the special needs, or we're we need this amount of money, and you're you ever get frustrated that people don't live as passionately as you? Does that make sense?
Well, yes, but also I think it's really important that I mention that I fall short of this a lot too.
Yeah.
I've chased the wrong things a lot in my life, and I am focused and determined. I'm trying not to chase the wrong things, but chase what God's called me to. But yes, as believers, it is not enough to go to church on Sunday and think, this is what I'm called to do. The church isn't a building we go to on Sunday. The ecclesia is believers that get together to spur one another on. That iron could be iron, so iron would sharpen iron, so one man would sharpen another. That we would actually spur one another on to good works and to glorify the Lord and the good news of the gospel, and that we would really get back to the Great Commission and the Great Commandment. The Great Commission, make the gospel known, and the Great Commandment, love God and love people. But that love is not a feeling, it is a choice. It's the agape love, to choose the best interests of another person and act on their behalf. And we have people all over our country and all over the world that we are called and responsible to go care for.
Yep.
And when you really believe that you're called, I'd go back to the example, urgent divine invitation to accept responsibility. That means even if nobody else goes, I'm still called. Even if nobody else does it, I'm still called. Could you imagine what would happen in the Big C church if we said, okay, together, we're going to work together and we're going to step into foster care. We could care for them all here in the States. We're going to step into orphan care. We could care for them all. We're going to step into the fight against trafficking. You could make a massive dent. Right. We're going to step into the space of exploitation. You could make a massive dent. Right. And we just view it too often. And again, I don't want to be negative towards the church. I love the church. That's why I'm not giving specific examples of it. I love the church. I'm grateful for the church. I'm for the church. So with my whole heart, but I'm also for the church being the church, not in the Sunday building, but in our communities and around the world every other day.
Yeah, if you go, I think the people, I think even going back to the example of the supporting the kid for $40 a month or whatever, like I think even that, like I'm thinking everybody listening to this podcast that you go, I think being a mom is a divine calling.
Absolutely, it is.
Hey, my alarm clock's going up. This is what I've been put on this earth to do. You obviously just became a father, which congratulations, by the way. But I think every dad that goes to work for his family,
absolutely,
that is also a divine calling.
Yes,
so you go, man, what exactly are we doing here? And I think even if you put $40 a month, I'm going to support.
That's right.
I no exaggeration think that would take you away from suicide and depression, because you go, well, I'm changing this
life.
Even if you don't have a family, or you don't even have a job. That's why the suicide rate, or like, what are we can't just be about getting money and consuming things. Then you go, well, this kid in another country relies on me and look at what he's gone on to do. And if I can do that, maybe I can do it for another kid. Maybe we could do two. Maybe that alone, having a purpose, would take you away from depression and suicide.
It totally would. Think of how to say this. If we valued people and used stuff versus using people and valuing stuff, everything would change.
Yep.
Everything would change. But that's not just going to start with our actions. It's going to start with our mindset and our heart posture. Yeah. That we would just value people and use stuff. And we get it flipped so often. I've got it flipped too often, right? But if it started from that position, then what you would say, man, I value someone. I see someone in need. I can do something about that. I can step in. Man, might not be able to do it for everyone. I can do it for that one, though. Yep. I can do that. I can get $30 more a month. I can be part of that ministry. I can do this. I can bring my family. You know what? You just used a great example. This calling of being a mom and a dad. What's also a part of being a great mom and dad is train up a child in the way it should go, and when they're old, they're not depart from it. Part of training up in the way it should go is, hey, come be a part of this with me. Yep. Hey, we're going to care for that person, so I'm going to teach you what caring and love and kindness and generosity is from a young age. We're going to do this together. Hey, what if we go have a garage sale? What if we go to homeschool? So we had a garage sale.
Now he's making jokes.
Shots, dude. You guys get it? Yeah, we did have them.
Don't act like you didn't.
No, I have 100% I cook a garage sale, bro. I think what I heard that the number one cause of depression is rumination. That we're just thinking about you. Then we've joked about this kind of on this pod, but everybody going to therapy. All you're doing in therapy is talk about your own thing, and therapy's good and a lot. But if you go downtown, you got an hour in therapy. How about you go into your community, go ask someone that appears to be homeless. You go, hey, what can I help you with?
That's right.
You need a blanket.
It would change.
You need
so
a jacket, and maybe just sub out one of the therapy sessions where you're talking about
for a service session,
where you're talking about me. You're talking about me. You're talking about my problems, my issues, my struggles, and you're like, maybe go meet a need in the community somewhere to start.
I really think it will start to change your
because I feel like we're talking about very big issues, about societal issues, what every person listening to this podcast to go, hey, pay for the guy behind you at Burger King. Start maybe.
How much
you know what I'm
better
saying?
will you feel from it?
Way better. Trust.
It really does.
And I've gotten
everything.
and I've been on both sides.
I really feel like it's that song we're talking about. I want to talk about me. I want to talk about I want to talk about number one. Oh, me, mine.
Shout out Toby Keith, dude. Rest in peace.
How does I love how you got on earlier about the value and how it starts with how you view yourself. Mm-hmm. How do things like self-talk or affirmations fit in with your faith?
We will be the best program.
Well, I would probably follow that with a question. What would mean more to you? Someone you've never met and probably don't necessarily know or have a crazy high level of respect for, saying, hey, I really believe in you. Or let's just say you're an athlete, right? You'll say you're a football player and Nick Saban goes to you and he says, hey, I just want you to know, I really believe in you. What would mean more to you?
I would say it would depend on where my ego lies.
But if you're an athlete,
Yeah,
and
Nick Saban.
one of the greatest
For
of all
sure.
time says that I believe in what you can do.
Yeah,
He's
Nick
being
Saban.
sincere. That's going to mean more to you as an athlete, right?
Yeah.
What about the creator of this universe? If we really actually did listen to him when he said, hey, I love you. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. And I love it. We always just say fearfully and wonderfully made, but the end of the verse says, and my soul knows it very well. Our soul does not know that. Too many times in my life, my soul has not known that.
Yep.
It's thought it. At times it hasn't known that. But if I know it, because the point that I'm making is the person that's telling you, if you really believe the voice that is talking to you, a voice that has a stronger credibility, it's going to mean more to you, right? A person that you love, a person that you have such respect for that says it to you, that's going to mean more than just some random that says it to you. What about the voice of the creator?
Yep.
Like that should be the voice that we're listening to. And I do believe in self-talk, but it's also that if we really want to have the most important self-talk, it's going to be that we are regurgitating God's
Saying
word
the
about
other
what
thing,
God
yeah.
has said about us.
Yeah.
You know, and that's going to be something that fills us. And I just, this point, but also what you mentioned before about, you know, the mindset and comparison and all that. I saw a study not long ago that said 12% of our daily thoughts are spent in some form of comparison.
That's crazy.
And if we are spending 12% of our daily thoughts, and by the way, I know that I've done this a lot, especially in sports.
All athletics is comparison.
Yeah.
So, but if outside of that, car you drive, job you
think
have,
about
social media. Yes, I was going to say
Think about social media.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
And
It's the whole thing.
But we are comparing our reality with somebody else's fake best day. That's why they take so many photos and then they have filters on top of it. It's not real. But then we are sitting there thinking, man, I wish I looked like her. I wish I had that job.
not
I
real.
wish I was as funny as him. I wish I did this. I wish I did that. I wish I could perform this. I wish I had that finance. And so we're comparing ourselves and our reality, what we know, our good and our bad, with somebody else's fake best moment.
Yeah, it's
And
impossible.
that kills.
Yeah.
And I really don't believe at the same time that you can be in a mindset and heart posture of comparison and gratitude. I do not believe they can coexist. I do think you can go back and forth between one and the other.
Can't be both.
But I don't think at the same time you can have both. So if you're comparing, if you're living in comparison, I really believe what it's implied to God is, God, you messed up. I should be more like him. I should look like her. I should have what he has. That's really, even if you're not consciously thinking it, it's implied in your thoughts.
Yeah.
Because I'm really saying, I should have that. I should be there.
God, why did you
Yes.
mess up, error? Yeah. Well, Dan, we can talk to you all day, brother. I want to be respectful of your time. I want to ask you one question.
Yeah.
I always thought, do you ever think the devout following of like the Christian fan base, do you ever feel like that hurt you? Going into drafts and in baseball, and you just wanted to play, and they go, man, if we bring Tim in, it's going to be this whole circus.
I think that there was probably a lot of both along the way. I think there was a lot of support and awesome opportunities because of that. And maybe there were some teams that thought, you know what, hey, like it's too much. It's too much of a circus. I heard that from a lot of people. It's too much. It's too much.
I don't know if that's but I'm not a leader in the faith. I mean, I guess I am, but I go, guys, let's just let him. Just everybody's going to show up to the practice. He just wants to play. I feel like it's like, don't line up on the fences. It's going to be too much, or they're thinking about bringing you in or something like that. I always feel like sometimes that I felt in my own career also that the biggest criticism or the biggest maybe the shots were fired from inside the house. I feel like, does that make sense?
I feel like a little bit of a different point, but I do feel like some of the worst, to me personally, not publicly, but to me, the biggest wounds have come from inside the family of faith.
What do you make of that?
That it hurts, but we've all fallen short, and I'm sure that I've hurt people, and I think it's harder. Not that this is right, and it's not right for me, but I feel like it's been even harder to have grace for those people inside the family of faith.
You ain't got to talk to me, brother.
Than it's been for people outside.
Yeah.
And that's been hard, and I've needed help with it.
They've been critical of your decisions or your personal life or whatever it is.
Done, you screwed this up, or you said this, or how could you say that, or why did you do this, or you've done this, or it's just
kind of nitpicking the he says he's Christian, but he didn't.
Yeah.
This or that or yeah.
I mean, just a
you
lot
go.
of
I thought we
things.
were all,
and some of them aren't even public, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because it's like sometimes you feel like, no, we're in this together, and we should be in this together with everybody. But like as a family of faith, man, it's like I went to challenge and spur people, but I really, really, really work hard to not criticize or people I disagree with on certain things, and I disagree with a lot of people. Like my dad's my biggest hero and role model. I disagree with my dad on a lot of things.
Yeah.
But there's a place for that in the family of faith in personal conversations. I think so much of that happens publicly, where we're just so fast to tear down each other publicly, when then people from the outside are like, man, why would I want to be a part of that?
Yep. Well, do you ever think if I mean, every Saturday you got to be critical of people's, you try to be careful, because we try to do it on the podcast also, is we watch clips of other people and we're like, all right, you can be critical of someone's work.
I can be
on the field or analyze.
I can be very honest and critical about, man, that quarterback missed the throw, right?
Okay, yeah,
or that receiver didn't run that route, or they have to get better. But you can do it in a way that is also not demeaning of the person.
Yeah.
And
that's what we try
I
to
think
do
they're
too.
very different.
Yeah.
Like,
do you ever see the guys go too far?
Oh, I think. Are you kidding?
yeah, I'm sure. on every talking head show all day, you go, I would be careful talking about him like that. Like he might have made a mistake on the field, or he might, but we can. I feel like we do public jobs. Mm-hmm. I do a public job. So if I put out a clip of my stand up and people say this is not funny, that is fair.
Yeah,
we've taken on these jobs that were public figure. You can be critical of your play on the football, or
there's a lot of plays you should be critical
even your
of.
Analysis. Yeah, you can say I don't agree with Tim.
I don't agree with that. I actually think this player's better than that. I think
sure, that's fine.
I don't care.
We do it all day.
Yes,
but
no
we
problem.
have to say we as a believer, in terms of calling that guy, well, I don't know if I would call him lazy. I don't know him. I don't know his work ethic. Well, from what I've seen, we can be
also,
critical of this.
We're so quick, and when so many times you just don't know.
Yeah.
And why would you act like you know when you don't? You're taking a guess about something, and that is not a place to take a guess, right? About someone's character, about someone's effort, about their heart, about their intentions. Like, why? Now, if something comes out and it becomes clear and they say it, like, I quit on the play and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then you can comment on it. But when you're taking things so personal and making it personal, when you don't know, there's a lot of variables. And that's why also as a player, I would give different things to different analysts and broadcasters, because I knew there's some that are more trustworthy and they're going to handle it the right way.
Great point.
And there's others that wouldn't. You know that, man, they're going to be so excited to go do whatever to get clicks.
Yeah. And you could look at the guys like like Brian Windhorst has been covering LeBron first. You're like, I feel like LeBron would go, this is getting a little bit of the weeds, but you go, That was fair. What you covered me fairly. Or Jordan
Yeah.
has said that about people that are like in the media. They even if they screw up, they go, "That was fair." Versus you've been exploited.
Totally. I think
you give them some information and they use it against.
I think
you.
like Kirk has done a really good job for a whole lot of years of, he can be critical at times of an offense or a scheme, but look at the way that he's handled and the trust he's built with so many people. And like, he's a great example of doing it really well for a really long time.
And I bet coaches, even running schemes,
They're gonna give you
would
way
tell
more.
him because he knows Kirk is not going to. Yeah. He's going to, I can tell you this, here's what we're going to do.
Yeah, and it's like,
But
hey,
he knows he's going to be,
we're planning, and if it works out, to maybe have this play in the game. He's not going to, before the game, going to be like, you should be looking out for some trick plays.
He'd be like, hey, dude, what you told? Yeah, we told you that. Yeah.
Like, but it's also, you're not thinking long term.
Yeah.
Because you're just thinking right now in the moment, and to have so cool, you got more clicks here, but you ain't gonna get nothing next week.
Yeah.
That's going to be the end of it.
Have a long-term mindset.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people. Well,
So one of the quotes I've always loved is never give up what you want most for what you want now.
Nice.
dang, Tim, preach it, man. We've never had a preacher on here, but we have now.
That's solid.
Yeah. Well, tell us about your book and where you can find it, when it comes out, and do you know all that information?
I think it comes out November 4th.
It'll be in the...
I think it comes out November 4th. I'm so excited.
And it's these things that we're talking about, because what's wild about... I was doing research about the questions I wanted to ask you.
Were you?
No, I was. Yeah.
Were you?
No, but we followed your career
sure.
for and I was going to ask you about passion, about how you get so convicted about things and when to speak and when not to speak, and then they sent over the book, and it was like, that was a lot of is what the book was about.
Yeah, it's been a message I feel like I've been supposed to share for about 4 years, and I hope on one hand it's the most encouraging thing that a lot of people will read.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I also hope and pray it's one of the more challenging things that people will read. In the start of the book, I pray that it's really encouraging, but the second half, I pray that it's really challenging. Because, man, if we really start to see ourselves as infinitely valuable by the Creator, and then we see people suffering in our families, in our communities, and around the world, how can we not respond?
Amen to that, brother. It's a good word right there, brother. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you, man. Appreciate y'all having me. I'll get you a new hat.
I mean, yeah, sure, it was a little weird, but on the net, it was a positive. It was a positive. You cannot be serious. On the net, it's a positive.